be discussing the Prairie Math League High School Round 117. Questions 1 through 2. A 10-meter rope is fastened to one of the corners of a house, which has the form of a rectangle, 6 meters long and 4 meters wide. A dog is fastened to the rope. What is the perimeter of the region that the dog can access? This is the process for solving this question. So first, we have this figure here, which I will explain. So you have this house, which is dimensions 4 by 6, and this red dot represents where the dog is tied to, or the corner that the dog is tied to. So first of all, you can see that since this rectangle or this house has a 90-degree angle, that means that this dog can travel 270 degrees in any other direction freely. So that means in order to find this perimeter, we need to find 3/4 of the whole circle that the dog should be able to travel to if the house was not there. So since we know that the rope is 10 meters long, and the formula for the circle's perimeter is 2 times pi times radius, we can substitute r as 10 and find that the radius of 3/4 of this perimeter is 15 pi. Next, we'll keep this in our back pocket and we'll look at these arcs here. So first we'll talk about the arc A to D. So we have the formula being 1/4 2 times pi times radius. Now why is this equal to the length of this arc right here? So since we know that the rope bends here, because we understand that the rope cannot travel through the house but has to go around it, it forms a sort of quarter circle here, and from there we can just find the perimeter of that, which is just 1/4 of a full circle. And so we take the formula for a full circle again, which is 2 times pi times r, and instead of r, or the radius, being 10, it's 6 here, because this is 4, and so we have to subtract 4 from 10, and that would mean 6. So we have 1/4 of the perimeter of a circle of radius 6, and we get 3 pi. Next we have the arc CD, which is the exact same process, just with a different number. Instead of subtracting 4, we subtract 6 from the big radius, and we end up with 2 pi instead. Now we add up all of these values and we get 20 pi. And as we can see here on this, 20 pi is A, so the answer is A. Question 2. Tony and Maria are training for a race by running all the way up and down a 700-meter long ski slope. They each run up the slope at different constant speeds. Coming down the slope, each runs at double his or her uphill speed. Maria reaches the top first and immediately starts running back down, meeting Tony 70 meters from the top. When Maria reaches the bottom, how far behind is Tony? This is the process for solving this question. So first, let Maria's speed equal to v1 and let Tony's speed equal to v2. So from here, we know that Maria reaches the top first and immediately starts running back down, meeting Tony 70 meters from the top. This means that Maria ran 700 meters uphill and ran 70 meters downhill, and Tony ran 630 meters uphill. And so we have Tm, which is representative of the point in time where the two runners meet. So we have Maria running 700 meters uphill and 70 meters downhill, and we represent Tm with this, which is distance over speed. And we have Tm for Tony, where he traveled 630 meters uphill at a speed of v2. And so when we compare, and since these are both equal to Tm, we can have them both be equal to each other. And from this, we can find that v1 is equal to 7/6 v2. Te is the point in time where Maria reaches the end of the race, moving 700 meters uphill and 700 meters downhill. And so we know that so we know that Te is equal to 150 over v1, which is her speed. We also know that Te is equal to 700 over Tony's speed plus 700 minus x over 2 Tony's speed. Now, x is equal to the difference between Tony's distance and Maria's distance when Maria reaches the end of the race. So we end up with the calculation of 2100 minus x over 2 velocity 2. So we have them both equal each other, and since we know that v1 is equal to 7/6 v2, we can substitute this into the equation, and we can end up by removing v2 from this and then factoring out all of this. We can get x is equal to 300, which means the difference between the two racers at the end of the race is 300 meters. And here in question 2 we have option D, which is 300 meters. Therefore the answer is D.